all our very best wishes obviously go to Captain Sir Tom Moore and his family after the terrible news yesterday that he's been admitted to hospital. He had pneumonia for several weeks, we're told by the family in a statement. But then he tested positive for COVID-19.
Yes. His daughter released a statement saying he was at home with us until today, that's yesterday, when he needed additional help with his breathing. He's being treated in a ward, although he is not in intensive care. The medical care he has received in the last few weeks has been remarkable. And we know that the wonderful staff at Bedford Hospital will do all that they can to make him comfortable and hopefully return home as soon as possible. She says, we understand everyone will be wishing him well and we are focusing on my father and will update you when we are able to.
Well, he's a tough cookie, Captain Tom. We know that. He came through World War II and he came through, of course, a very serious bout himself with ill health, which is why he was so respectful and grateful to the NHS, which caused him to do his walks, which raised all the money. So, once again, he's reliant on the NHS, that he's done so much to help.
A legendary fundraiser now, raising more than £30 million for NHS charities together.
I'm sure he's getting probably the best care any human being could possibly get right now.
Well, and the marvellous thing about the NHS, of course, gives every single person the best care that they possibly could.
I had a little exchange with Hannah last night, sent our very best wishes. She said she was able to tell Tom the message and that he smiled and was grateful for all the messages he's getting from all over the world, you can imagine. So it appears at the moment that he's gone in more precautionary because of some breathing issues than any very serious situation. We just have to hope and pray that that stays the case. Dr. Hillary, interesting revelation from the family, because people were asking, did he not have a vaccine? He's 100 years old. He'd contracted pneumonia several weeks ago before he'd had a chance to have a vaccine, and the medication he was on, they're saying, for the pneumonia was preventing him from having the vaccine. Can you explain what that would be?
It's difficult for me to comment on an individual case like this. I don't have the detail, but clearly if someone's got a pneumonia, they're in a weakened state anyway, and it may have been decided that the vaccine was not appropriate at that moment. So there are certainly medical reasons why it would be deferred. Just as someone tests positive for COVID-19, you wait 28 days before having the vaccination. So there would have been some potential issue with the vaccination at a time when his immune system was already weakened.
Pneumonia is obviously a serious illness anyway, particularly serious if you're 100. So he was obviously already, having a lot of problems with that. If you add COVID-19, it's obviously a more serious situation still, but encouraging that he's not, as of last night, in intensive care.
Very much so, very much so. Pneumonia is common in this age group, and it is a common cause of mortality. I think everybody knows that. The old man's friend, they used to call it. So it's a serious condition. These days, with powerful antibiotics and other treatments, it's much more manageable and survivable than it used to be. But at Sir Captain Tom's age, it's a worry, and with COVID as well, an additional worry. So, as you say, all our prayers are with him.
Well, look, he's one of the most optimistic people that we know, and he has united the country, and he's been an icon throughout this whole coronavirus pandemic. And when you spoke to him for Life Stories, Piers, he gave us that optimistic message.
Well, there was a quote about, I said to him, what have you learned about your life in 100 years? And he gave this incredibly positive, optimistic response. Let's take a look.
What other lessons, Tom, have you learned about life in your 100 years?
I think that you really have to look forward to things being better. I mean, I've always said tomorrow is a good day. All my life I've been an optimistic person to think that if you had a bad day or two, things will certainly get better. And in my life, they always have.
So you're a glass half full kind of guy?
No, my glass is never half empty.
And is that the sweet wine every night?
That's right.
Well, he'll be in there fighting. He's a positive, optimistic person. Tomorrow will be a good day. And if you're watching, Captain Sir Tom, and you might well be, I don't know what you're doing in there this morning, we send you all our very best. Keep fighting, Captain Tom. We're all rooting for you.
Yeah, we are.
And to all the staff there, take good care of him because he's a national treasure and we need him out of there and back home as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Lots of love to you and to all of your family.
Has wished Captain Sir Tom Moore a full recovery from COVID-19. The 100-year-old charity hero has been admitted to hospital where he's being treated for pneumonia and is getting help with his breathing.
Well, we're joined from Warwick by Ellie Orton, Chief Executive of NHS Charities Together. Ellie, of course, you're head of the charity, which benefited from a record amount of fundraising from Sir Captain Tom's efforts. Do you know how he's doing this morning?
No, I haven't got any other update from the family. Obviously, our best wishes and our thoughts are with him and his family and friends at this very sad time. And we are, we're all, not just the charity, but the country, and I think the whole world are behind him, wishing him a speedy recovery.
Captain Tom, obviously, he did this because of treatment he'd previously had several years ago after a bad fall by the NHS. He's now reliant again on the care from NHS to get him through this, and we wish him all the very best. For those who are not completely up to speed with the amount of money he raised and what it did, can you just tell us how that money got spent and how much it was?
Yes, he's a phenomenal fundraiser in raising over £34 million for NHS Charities Together, and those funds were for our COVID-19 appeal, and they're being spent right now to give extra support to the NHS to help cope and fight against COVID-19. So they are being used to support the mental health and well-being of NHS staff. So the hundreds of well-being rooms and gardens that have been set up across the country, extra hours in mental health therapies and support, as well as supporting patients who are isolated by being able to fund and give them electronic tablets and iPads so that they can keep in touch with loved ones, and even to give bereavement support to those who have sadly lost loved ones due to the virus.
Well, I'm glad you reminded us because he's such a special man who did such a special thing, the greatest fundraiser we've ever had, individual in this country.
Incredible.
And to all his family, to all Captain Tom's family, and to Captain Tom, if you're watching, he's not in intensive care, thankfully, at the moment, we understand. All our love and support and best wishes to you and to the staff who, of course, are now caring for you. Thank you very much, Ellie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And we're hoping, of course, that tomorrow will be a good day.
Yeah, his great mantra, and I'm sure it will. He's a tough, tough man.